everybody, welcome to the 17th episode of the MyMuddlings podcast. I am your host Julianne and we are here in Adelaide, South Australia. I am recording on the 5th of December 2016. So welcome to new and returning viewers to my podcast. I'm mixing things up a little bit today. I've got my phone, which I record the podcast on, up on a tripod today, an actual tripod, so it's a little bit higher. Hopefully I'm looking okay to you guys, because I'm using the back camera as well. Previously I've used the front camera on the for the podcast, and I'm now using the back camera because it's a little bit better video quality on the back camera. It is an iPhone, so if you have an iPhone you know that the back camera is better than the front. So I have a mirror kind of rigged up behind it so I can kind of see what's going on. So hopefully it's all okay. I have my glasses on because I've run out of contact lenses and I don't really have the funds to buy any more. So it'll be glasses from here on out. And I guess I'll just get on with it. I've got quite a bit of housekeeping to get through today. Probably not so much projects that I've been working on, but I have my notes, so I will start going through things now. So the first thing is I've heard from other on other podcasts that YouTube have changed their algorithm once again for how people find videos, and now apparently they are using likes and comments on people's videos to I guess make them visible in things like search functions and things like that. So I was asking very nicely if you guys could help me out by clicking that like button, and if you have something that you'd like to share with me or just a general comment about the podcast, please do leave a comment as well, because hopefully that'll get the podcast seen by more people through the search function on YouTube, which would be really great. I'd still like to continue building my viewer base, and of course if you do like the podcast, please do share on things like social media and Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Please do share my podcast around. That would be greatly appreciated. I'd really like to keep increasing my viewer circle. So another thing apparently that is happening is some people are complaining that they are getting unsubscribed from channels that they have subscribed to just randomly, and I just want to encourage everybody, just double check if you are a subscriber to this podcast, just double check that you're still subscribed. And as always, if you would like to receive the notifications of when the podcast goes up and anything else that I'm doing on my channel, do click that little button, bell button. I'll see if I can take a screenshot of it and I'll put it in the video over the top so you can see what I'm talking about. So that way I think you get an email, or at least a digest email, including my new podcasts, just to let you know that they are uploaded. So that way you will always be in the loop. So anyway, let's get on from YouTube's algorithm. All these websites that are changing all their algorithms, it's too hard to keep up with. The next thing I thought I would share is I was watching on the weekend Kristen from Boulevard's Vlogmas videos that she is doing, and I had kind of heard about Vlogmas, but I wasn't entirely sure what it was or what it entailed. And watching Kristen's videos, it was actually really fun just to see her do things, through her day, see little glimpses of what her house looks like, and yeah, I just found it really fun. So I thought, well, maybe I'll join in. I know I'm very late. You're supposed to start on the 1st of December, which I obviously haven't done, even though definitely on Friday, on the 2nd of December, I had a lovely day because it was Simon's birthday. So we had a couple of outings and things like that. So that would have been fun to actually vlog about. But unfortunately, that is past. I have started recording some clips today, and I've started putting them in a video and starting to edit them. So please check that out. I will hopefully, fingers crossed, be doing a new Vlogmas video every day up until Christmas. So we'll see how I go. I get a little bit self-conscious when Simon is home, and I don't really like talking to my camera when he's home, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, check that out if you're interested in seeing some little behind the scenes things of what I'm doing at home and around and things for MyMuddlings. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to just mention is the stash down along that we are planning for next year, which is to use yarns that you have purchased prior to the 1st of January 2017 to try and work through some of your stash. I have had a couple of responses from people who have offered to supply prizes for the craft along, and that's really great, and I really appreciate it, and I just wanted to mention them here so that you can go and check out their shops, so that, you know, throw them some love for helping out my podcast. And the first one is Tamara from Tam's Crafty Knits, and she has a shop on Etsy, which I'll put in the down bar, and she does hand-dyed yarn and project bags, and she's offered her drawstring project bag to have as a prize. That's really great. Thank you so much, Tamara. And also Caroline from Clothesline Designs has offered up a couple of patterns to go as prizes to you guys. So I would really encourage you to go and check out their shops, and I've put in links in the show notes to both Tamara and Caroline's shops. One on Ravelry. Caroline has Clothesline Designs available on Ravelry. You can go and have a look at her catalogue, and also Tam's Crafty Knits on Etsy. So that's probably all the housekeeping I have. I do have a little shop mention that I'll put at the end in case you're not interested. So I'll get on to the crafty things now. And first thing is I'll talk about my handmade wardrobe. And this top I made for Christmas 2013, I think it was. And this is the By Hand London Poly top. And this was a free download that they were offering on their website. I believe it is still free. I have linked to it in the show notes, so you can check that out there. And it has this really awesome sort of, it's almost like a princess seam, but it's like this insert in the front. And it has like the shirt hem where it comes up on the sides, and I just sewed this out of this is just some voile, this sort of cherry print, I guess cherry blossom print, and this the deer down here is just some quilting cotton that I got. I don't know what brand it was or where I even got it from now. I think it was duck cloth, but I don't think they're actually selling fabric on duck cloth anymore. So yeah, this is my top. It's a little bit big, so you might see me fidgeting with it a little bit because it does tend to show off my bra, which is, you know, oh so sexy. But so hopefully you won't get too many flashes of my undergarments here while I'm recording, because it does tend to shift around a little bit. The armholes are quite big. I think I could probably take some, just a pinch out of the top of the shoulder. I find that it's a little bit, I don't know whether I've got a shallow chest or whatever, but I could probably take a centimetre or so out of the seam at the top of the shoulder, I would imagine, just to make it fit a little bit better, just to bring it up a little bit so I'm not flashing everybody all the time. But anyway, this was a fun one to sew, actually. I did have a little bit of an issue. I'm going to be pointing at my boobs a lot, but I apologise. But the curves that come round here, I did have a little bit of... it was a little bit tricky because I'm not great at sewing curves, but it worked out fine, and I don't have any puckering that I can see, because that's usually what happens when I try and sew curves. I get puckering around that curve, but I think this one's okay. So yeah, I really really love this. I saw the quilting fabric and I saw it and I thought, oh, what am I going to do with it? And I think there was only a metre or so available on the website, and I bought up the remaining yardage. And I was like, what do I do with this? Because it was very, although I think it was quilting cotton, it was very thin. And I've actually got interfacing on the back of it to give it a little bit more body. Although it may have been the voile, it may have both been voile, I think. I don't know if that's how you actually say that word, but that's how I always say it. So yeah, it does have interfacing on it to give it a little bit more body. And I just love the deers and the... what do you really call that? The tree with fruit on it or something, and I thought it was very Christmassy with the green and the red, so it became my Christmas top. And I haven't actually worn it a great deal because of the issue with the straps. I should really just fix them and then I won't have an issue. But anyway, that's my handmade wardrobe for today. On to finished objects, and I have one finished object for you today. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen these, but they're the O Tannenbaum socks that have been knitting for my festive podcaster sock swap knit along thing that I've been doing. I can't remember what it's called, it's so bad. And that's on the Eva Christie Knits podcast and her Ravelry group that I've been doing that. So these are now done, which is great because I was so worried that they wouldn't be done in time to post and for my recipient to get them before Christmas. So I'm going to get these in the post this week. I'm going to have a bit of a blocking party at some stage. I will probably vlog about that. So yeah, these are done. So I'll just hold them right up. And you can see the little Christmas trees on there. And this was knit from my own hand-dyed yarn. And this was the MyMuddlings sock base in the Bar Humbug colourway. And just got these little eyelets here, and on the top of the foot you can't really see it because it's so variegated. They are little like the pearls create snowflakes, so if it was on a solid yarn you would probably be able to see them, but you can't really see it in the Bar Humbug, although it was supposed to be a speckle colourway. It's actually this was my prototype, so it's actually a little bit splotchy rather than speckly, but I love them. I think they turned out really great. The pattern is by Jennifer L. Morgan, and it's a $6 Ravelry download. And yeah, it's just there's so much in these socks to you know, to keep up with. Really, there's so many stitch changes that you can't really get bored with them. They can get a little bit complex, and at times I just didn't have the brain space in order to work on them, which is probably why it took me nearly a month to knit a pair of socks. But they are done now, and I'm really pleased, and I will block them this week, and then I will get them in the post, which is fantastic. So that's the O Tannenbaum socks, which is by Jennifer L. Morgan. So that's my finished object. And so let's get on to works in progress. You see I'm already adjusting my top. And the first one I wanted to talk about is my dogwood blanket. I got another square. I think I showed off I was nearly finished a square, or 2/3 of the way through a square last week. So I have now finished the second square. That's the back of it. I'll show you. No, that was the front of it. So that's my second dogwood blanket square. And this is in some handspun that I dyed myself, and the pattern is by Tin Can Knits. So I have two of them now. The first one I have blocked. This looks a bit squashy because it's been put in my little bag here. So I have two of them done, and I have two to go, and the baby sprinkle is on Sunday, so I need to get a wriggle on. I had a very full-on week last week, so I'm giving myself most of this week, I think, to just relax, and I'm going to knit on this blanket and get it all seamed up, because I've just put the stitches on crochet cotton just to hold them, and I'm going to do 3 needle bind off to join the squares, and then I'm just going to, I don't know whether I'm going to crochet around the edge or whether I'm just going to pick up and knit a small border, but yes, I'm going to have to try really hard to get this done by Sunday. So yes, I have to do a bit of sitting and knitting this week. But that's my dogwood blanket. It's approximately, what, 40% done. So yes, hopefully my sister will appreciate that one. So that's the dogwood blanket. Not much more really to tell about that one. What have I got next? Turn the page. Next is my Project Peace Cowl. So I did put this on my Instagram. Who is the designer? Christina Campbell has initiated a movement for knitters to knit in for peace, which I believe is on the 21st of December. They're still trying to figure out, I think, what someone suggested, which was really cool, is that everybody start sort of knitting, having their knit in at 12 noon on the 21st of December, so that we can have like a rolling peace along throughout the world on that day. And with all of the turbulent things that are happening in overseas countries and even our country, I think just the thought that thousands of people around the world are knitting with thoughts of peace and love for the planet, I think is really kind of what we need, and hopefully that will get the ball, rolling, so to speak, in creating a more loving and inclusive and peaceful world, because nobody likes any kind of war and things like that. Everybody wants to live in peace. So this is the movement that Christina has started, and she has designed a free cowl pattern to go along with that, which is what I am knitting here. So if you were interested, I have put links to the pattern, of course, as usual, in my show notes. And yeah, I encourage everybody to join in on the piece along. It's just such a lovely idea that we can all be sitting and knitting quietly and peacefully together, and hopefully sending out love into the world. So I will talk about the project now instead of garbling on about my wishes for the planet. And this is a really it's a peaceful pattern to knit, surprisingly. And it's a long infinity cowl, as you can see, and it has this lovely slip stitch pattern on it, which I'm finding with this yarn, which is my own hand dyed yarn, and this is just MyMuddlings fingering on the Wisteria Arbor base. Wisteria Arbor colourway. And yeah, the slip stitches are just magical on this, because it brings, although the colour of the yarn is slightly variegated with the purples and the greys, the slip stitches just sort of bring up that different colour through the levels, and mixes and breaks it up a little bit, because Christina did suggest as part of the pattern to use tonal or semi-solid yarns. I probably would call this a tonal, I would imagine. It's it's got a couple of different shades of purple and then some grey over the top, so it's not heavily variegated. But yeah, the slip stitches are just the magic for breaking up the colours, and I'm loving this. This is the colourway that I dyed, that was a test for my bear that I have to reknit my pomme de pin, so that will be in this colourway, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. We've got a couple of skeins of DK weight in the shop at the moment in this colourway. And yeah, I'm really loving this. It's easily memorable. It's only a four row repeat, and 2 of those rows are just knit rounds, so it's very easy to remember. And it's a free pattern, so I'm not going to be giving away any secret sauce in that respect. But yeah, head on over and check out the Project Peace movement. There is a map in the Healthy Knitter, I think it's the Healthy Knitter Ravelry group, which is Christina's group. And there is a map that you can see where people have sort of, I guess, promised or pledged to knit along on the 21st of December, and there's a map with pins been placed in it by people who are going to be knitting along. So I've put my pin in for Adelaide, South Australia. I might be the only one, I don't know yet. But yeah, just definitely go check it out. And if you're interested in the free pattern, please check out Christina's pattern. The link will be in the show notes. So that's my Project Peace cowl. And the last thing I've been working on, which I touched on last week, was the diagonal crochet blanket that I was saying I think would probably be a better project for myself than doing like cozy memory blankets and things like that to get rid of my scraps. So I started, and I kind of can't stop. I put a picture of it on Instagram, I think last Thursday or Friday, and I'd already done a fair amount, and now it's even bigger. So that's what I've gotten so far. There's not really a right or a wrong side. And yeah, I've already put at least, I think, I've got to be up around 10 or so, 8 or 10 all used up now. So I'm getting things out of my stash, which is exactly what I wanted this for. and it's just so much fun. It's just, let me hold it up and you can see, it's just like you work backwards and forwards on the diagonal, just up and back, and it creates like this basket weave kind of pattern. So I'm kind of trying to have sort of have the yarns so that they kind of match the colours around them, to have some sort of, I don't know, some sort of artistic, you know what I mean. I can't word. Oh, it's so bad. Anyway, I'm loving this. This is really mindless for me to do at night while we're watching TV together, Simon and I. And yeah, I'm just working through things, and it's really satisfying to be able to keep clicking that all used up on Ravelries that gets it out of my main stash and into my all used up list. So I'm not going to go through all of the colours that are in here. I've got Knit Picks for Leashy in here. I've got some Unwind Yarn Company. I've got some Blue Moon Fibre Arts, some of my own. You'll probably recognise this colour here, which is from my Wee Liesel cardigan that I knit for my soon-to-be-born niece. Yeah, so I've got them all listed on the project page, so if you're at all interested in what is in this, head on over there. I don't know how much yardage I've used so far, I haven't added it up, but I'm thinking I will probably make this sort of a double bed blanket size. So I'm not sure what Americans would call that, for anybody who's in America, but it's like a double bed. You've got king, queen, double. I think you guys call a single a twin. So anyway, I think it's the measurements are about 180 centimeters by 210 centimeters, so 1.8 meters by 2.1 meters. So it's going to get really big, and I probably don't have enough scraps currently to get it that big. So I figure I'm just going to keep going and going and going and going until it gets to the size that I want it. So yes, you will probably be seeing a lot more of this. It will be a beast by the time it is finished. And I did use a tutorial for this. I can't actually remember. I mean, I did it years and years ago. I've already used this type of pattern, but I just had a bit of a refresher by looking on a blog. I can't actually remember whose blog it was. I will try and check for it and put it in the down bar and in the show notes in case you're interested. So that's everything that I've been working on. I don't have at this stage a shop update this week. However, I will. I am late again to the party. It is now the 5th of December, and I've just started today my advent calendar sales for MyMuddlings. So by the time you see this, it will probably be Tuesday or later. So I'm not going to go through what today's deal is because you're probably not going to see it. I might actually put them in the end of my Vlogmas videos, just a little note at the end, or not. Check out Instagram. I will be updating Instagram with my daily sales for my advent calendar, and I think that's probably about it. I think I want to do some sewing, sew some project bags this week, because I did want to sew one for my friend who I knit the vanilla orange spice socks for, and I'll be seeing her this week. So I think tomorrow I might get everything out and do some sewing of some project bags. So I will definitely put things on Instagram if I do decide to put them in the shop this week, and there is a shop update of some project bags. But other than that, that's about it. I do still have my survey open for my planning for MyMuddlings business next year. So yes, in the show notes there is a link if you wouldn't mind helping me out. It takes very little time to be able to run through the questions. There's only 10 questions, so if you could help me out, that would be really great. So head on over to mymuddlingspodcast.wordpress.com, and I will have the link in the show notes there for you to fill in the survey. And I think that's about it, other than I can maybe do a little bit of blather if you're interested. It was Simon's birthday on Friday and Granger's birthday on Friday, so we went out and Simon and I went to see Arrival, which was a really great film. We really enjoyed it. I think we're both still unpacking some of the themes that were in the film. I would recommend to everybody to go and see it. It was really, really good. And in the current climate of the world, to see a better way of communicating, I think is just, it's something to aspire to. So yeah, that was Arrival. That was really good. And then we came home and we picked up Granger and we popped him in the car and we headed on down to, I think it was Grange Beach. Yeah, it's end of Grange Road down here. Grange Beach, and we've got a little fish and chip shop that we go in there occasionally, and we get burgers and chips for dinner, which is what we did. And I, for the first time, had a vegetarian burger there because I've recently converted to vegetarianism. And it was really interesting because usually veggie burgers are like a cracked wheat or a lentil burger or something like that, but this was more like it was like Bubble and Squeak or something. It was really cool. It had peas and corn and stuff in it, and that was really nice. It was quite tasty. And we just went for a bit of a walk. I saw some yarn bombing. I'll pop a picture in. It was on my Instagram. I put it on Instagram on Friday night. Yeah, so we went for a bit of a walk. Granger had so much fun. He was so cute. He was just like running along ahead of me. And he does this thing when he's having a really good time on his walk. He will run ahead because I usually just let him sort of walk free and sniff wherever he wants. He doesn't generally pull on me, so I'm happy for him just to, wander and have a sniff. And he does this thing when he's really enjoying himself where he'll stop and he'll wait for me to catch up to him and he will nuzzle into my hand, and it's really cute. He'll give me a bit of a kiss and a bit of a nuzzle into my hand, and that's just so sweet. So he was doing that constantly through this whole walk, and we had the lovely walk and came home, and I think we just watched some Star Trek for the rest of the night because we're up to season 7 now of Star Trek Next Generation, so we're nearly at the end. I'm a little bit sad because I quite enjoy joining that group of people every night. We'll have to find something else to watch. And then Saturday night we had Simon's birthday party, which was a lot of fun. We had a couple of people crash here because they had a little bit too much to drink, but that's all right. No judgment here. I know what that's like. I was very much sober, not totally sober. I did have a few drinks, but I was in no way drunk. But we had a great time. We had a friend of ours brought some food. She makes corn fritters and they're amazing. And she brought some of those, so I ate too many corn fritters. I had too much pizza, vegetarian pizza. Yeah, we had a really good night. It was a bit of a late one. We didn't get to bed until 2, I think, so that's quite late for us. Simon and I are kind of usually in bed by 11. So that was Simon's party, which was a lot of fun. And then, I don't know, I did get, also on Saturday, I adopted a couple of lovebirds, so they're really cute. They squawk away and they sing away. They're still a little bit nervous with us, I think. I have read that lovebirds can bond quite strongly with their owners, so I'm taking time every day to sit with them and talk to them and just continually kind of popping up and talking to them just to try and get them used to me, and Simon's been doing a bit of the same. So they're still a little bit sketchy, I guess, with us, because I've been keeping them in the laundry on the washing machine, because we've got a front loader washing machine, so it's low, and I've been keeping them on the washing machine, and in the mornings they're in there and you can hear them singing away, squawking away, and as soon as you walk in the room they just go dead silent and they just sit there and stare at you, and it's like, are you just interested in me or are you afraid of me? Like I don't quite know what they're doing, but I guess they'll probably get used to us pretty soon. They're outside right now. It's not the best day today. It's a little touch windy, but I think they're okay. I can hear them out there singing away. We have a lot of birds that come into our backyard as well, so they'll probably have a lot of friends. So that's probably all that's really happened that's exciting, apart from, getting ready for Simon's birthday, which involved a lot of hard work for me, getting the garden ready and cleaning the house and things like that. So that's probably all I've really done in the last week. So I guess I'll probably leave it there. I've probably been blathering for too long. So I'll leave it there, and happy crafting, and I will see you all tomorrow actually with Vlogmas, but I will see you for a proper podcast next week. So happy crafting, have a great week, take care everybody, bye.